Alrighty everyone, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, Case 1, the case of the Mummy's Curse. I don't know, it feels like we don't have a lot of leads left. I was thinking about we could send the irregulars to Philip Travis though. Just to see if they can see him doing anything. Watson asks two of the most trusted lads to follow up on an important lead. He sends them to the home of Philip Travis, a sometimes contributor to the Times. Oh, we've already done that, right? Oh yeah, that's true. I've already done that. Wow. Hello, memory. I've already done that. Okay, yeah, so I can't really think of anything more for us to do. I think Philip Travis is our guy. Because he had that bowl with ashes, and he's angry that he didn't get to go with them. And stuff. So we might actually just go to the judge at this point. Yeah, see what happens. Believing they have solved the case of 3 dead Englishmen, Holmes and Watson hail a carriage and are whisked away to the Queen's court.
No, gentlemen. You haven't done a thorough enough job of investigating yet. Do continue your sleuthing.
Oh. Oh, so we're missing info. Why, thank you. Okay, that was interesting. Okay. Insufficient evidence. Oh, really? Okay. Well... Okay, so I guess Travis isn't our guy. Man, I don't know. Okay, let's go to... Who's this? Foreign news editor. Maybe he has something to say. Watson hails a carriage and he and Holmes proceed to the offices of the London Times. Surely Henry, as editor of the Times, would have some interesting news regarding this case.
It's quite amusing, all this hoopla over a mummy's curse, I must say. Not so amusing, of course, the murder of 3 Englishmen.
Have any of your reporters uncovered anything new?
Actually, I've been in Paris the past several weeks. Just returned to London on Tuesday. I've had no involvement with the writing of any of these articles. I believe they are all the work of Philip Travis. He's one of our young reporters. For a short time, he was the Egyptian correspondent.
Was he sacked?
No. He returned to London just a few days ago. I gather he was reassigned to cover the case from here because he had some familiarity with a murder in Egypt.
Do you know Travis?
No, never actually met the chap, although I hear he's a bit of an odd duck.
Thanks for your help, Henry.
Anytime. Let me know when you catch the mummy. That's one scoop I'd like to get.
Okay, well, yeah, Philip Travis, okay. Edward Hall was the young barrister. I don't know what he could have to say about this, but let's go meet him. Watson accompanies Holmes to see the barrister at Old Bailey. The carriage ride is uneventful, and for reasons unknown, Holmes fears his visit with Hall will yield similar results.
Sorry, fellows. I don't mean to be brusque, but I am too occupied at the moment to concern myself with these so-called mummy murders. Perhaps if the mummy's solicitor were to contact me, then perhaps I would consider defending him.
Cool. I don't know what to do. I have, like, absolutely no idea. Yeah, maybe this dude from the Scotland Yard. Holmes dispatches Watson to check on leads elsewhere, as he himself hoofs over to the Police Gazette to speak with Quentin Hogg. Since the reporter loves nothing more than one-sided conversation, Holmes fears a long afternoon ahead.
Now, the thing what does strike me as odd is the passenger list of the Eastern Empress. Now, I'm not saying it has anything to do with the mummy murders, mind you, but it was a bit out of the ordinary.
What was Hogg?
Akram Palmy, for starters. He's a well-known importer, he is. For a price, a considerable price by all accounts, he can acquire whatever one's heart desires, be it jewels, art objects, or even wild animals, if that's what you fancy. I'd say he was on board that ship to transport something very valuable.
The presence of one high-powered importer on a London-bound vessel is hardly reason for suspicion.
Right-o. But Abdullah al-Saad was also on board.
Oh, yes. The well-known agent for the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire.
You never miss a trick, do you, Holmes? Well, whatever it was what Farmy was carrying, I'd say it was something those Turks wanted to get their hands on.
Okay. So so that's what was behind... Okay, so that was what was going on between those two. Okay. On the library, who was Sir Jasper? Oh yeah, we've been talking to him. Murray, head chemist. He probably doesn't have anything to say, but meh. Since Holmes has other matters to attend to, he sends the doctor to discuss what, if anything, HR had discovered about these measures.
Pettigrew wrote this book over 50 years ago, and there's still nothing better on the subject. Fascinating. Just fascinating. And what can I do for you today, Whitson?
It's Watson, sir.
Watson, yes, of course.
We're interested in what you may have learned about this mummy case.
Oh, so these days it's mummies you're chasing down with that fella Helms.
It's Holmes, sir.
This is what I said now, isn't it, Whitson?
Yes, I believe you did, sir.
Let me show you what I found so far. This is the bit of linen that was found round the neck of James Windibank. I examined it thoroughly, and it is quite old, perhaps thousands of years. However, it is not the murder weapon.
Are you certain of that?
Aye. The linen is quite old, but it's not at all strong enough to strangle a grown man.
Very interesting, sir.
I also found something quite fascinating. Take a look through this glass. Do you see those short hairs on the fabric?
They look precisely like hairs.
Of course they look like hairs. But what kind of hairs? They're not human hairs. They're dog hairs. Now, look at this. This piece of linen was found round the neck of the victim on board the ship. Well, his name was Leatherby or something. It is also quite old, and on it I found more hairs.
More dog hairs?
No, my dear man, monkey hairs. I've not yet been able to identify the precise species, but it's just extraordinary, isn't it?
Quite. But what do you think it all means?
Well, I'm not the sort who likes to jump to conclusions, Whitson. But I can assure you that neither of these bandages were the murder weapons.
Yeah, I just realized that you should absolutely go to him, obviously, because he checks things from the murder scene. So you should obviously... Yeah, you should probably always start with, like, Lestrade, the doctor, if you have a murdered body, Murray, because he analyzes things found in the crime scene and stuff. So, yeah, actually, yeah, there's a lot of info there. Monkey hairs. Well, Travis was trying to get a mummy to life. So, I don't know. Okay, who was this dude? Disraeli O'Brien. Office of Records. Maybe. Detective decides to stroll to the Office of Records department as Watson insists the fresh air will do the investigation good. Holmes is not so sure, but humors the good doctor.
Well, Holmes, it appears we're out of luck. The clerk told me that O'Brien is off on holiday.
Cool. Pike Langdale. Langdale's a columnist and contributes to the number of... oh yeah, gossip. Ah, sure, he might have something. Slighty's Club is not a venue that Holmes and Watson frequent. Oh, by the way, I loved the chemist guy's accent, whatever, the way he talked was so amazing. Let alone belong. However, detectives know that Langdale Pike knows what goes on behind closed doors more than anyone in London.
I know only a very little about two of the unfortunate gentlemen. I do recall that Turnbull was quite an eccentric chap. I don't believe he ever married, nor did he take his rightful place in London society.
And what of Windibank?
A quiet academic sort, as far as I can tell. Married to a woman called Hildegard. There was one spot of controversy that I can recall. It seems a few years back he had a run-in with the Anti-Vivisectionist League.
No, but of course.
It seems that during a lecture on the advancement of science, he spoke of the autopsy of his own pet, a recently deceased Yorkshire Terrier. Well, I can tell you the Times received a great deal of letters to the editor condemning him on that one. Even one from a Louise Fenwick, who threatened to vivisect him.
Oh, dear. Well, then I surmise it's Weatherby you know nothing about.
Well, now that you mention it, I believe he was assisting Professor Windibank in that lecture series.
Okay. Fenwick? I don't know, it feels like I recognize that. Well, not that I think that has anything to do with things, but Merrill Fenwick is president of the Bank of England. He was originally employed there by Clarence Clement, the bank's former president. Let's go there for fun and see what happens. Cap in hand, the men leave 221B Baker Street and journey to the other side of town to visit the haughty Fenwicks. They hope for a tidbit of information.
I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about the death of old... whatever his name was.
Andrew Weatherby.
Fact is, I only saw the gentleman once, just as we were boarding. And I'll tell you, I resented the first officer's questioning us on the matter, and I resent yours.
The whole voyage was a disaster from beginning to end. Our accommodations were positively abysmal. They wouldn't even let us bring Dickie into our cabin.
Dickie? Her high-strung, distasteful little mutt.
How can you say that, Merrill? You know Dickie is a blue-blooded Yorkshire Terrier. Mumsy will be with you in just a moment, Dickiekins. He's a bit under the weather, you know. That's why we were only able to stay in Egypt for 2 weeks. Dickie was so disappointed. He so wanted to see the Sphinx.
Mr. Holmes is not interested in your incessant whining, Louise.
Oh, now I whine, do I? There was a time you thought I had a lovely speaking voice. It's true, Mr. Holmes. He once adored me.
No doubt. Oh, for the love of God, Louise, spare us your blubbering.
Okay. Apparently they were on the voyage. She had her dog with her. I don't know if that explains the dog hairs. Okay, I'm just getting more confused, really. Okay, Porky might know something. He's the dude with the inn. Yeah. A quick carriage ride takes Holmes to the Raven and Rat Inn. Before stepping inside, the consulting detective is nearly flattened by an intoxicated patron stumbling from the inn.
There was a couple of blokes in here just a fortnight ago what mentioned the Eastern Empress. Never seen 'em before, haven't seen 'em since. One was a swarthy fellow, Arab unless I miss my guess. The other was an old English gent. I overheard 'em say something about a bird and later caught the name of the ship. I hope that helps you. Care for a drink here?
I presume that was the... Was it Al-Swad who was the one who was the smuggler? Somerset House has births, marriages, deaths, and registry. I don't know if we're going to find anything there, but A quick carriage ride takes Holmes and Watson to Somerset House. Certainly they will have information on the wills of the dead men. Oh, actually, that's true.
Mr. Turnbull apparently left what little he had to the Egyptology department at London University. And Windbank left everything to his wife Hildegard.
What about Weatherby?
Ditto. Everything was left to his wife Clarissa. Although being such a young chap, it hardly seems that he had much to leave at all.
Okay, well, doesn't seem like they had much to do there. Okay. Man, I'm totally do not know what to do. What info are we missing? I'm not sure that Fahmy and Al-Swad has anything to do with anything. I still think it's the trap. I don't know. I have written some other names here. Merton and Bulldog Trent. I don't know. Those are all they did not kill the men. He also learns they contain dog and monkey hairs. I still think it's Travis. Like, I still think it points to Travis. Like, okay, hints. What can we get? An article in the newspaper from August 1788 mentions an excavation and names of 3 men. Yes, yes, okay. Really? You're gonna hint me like that? Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not gonna. Wow, we can go through all the hints, obviously, but... Trent. Bulldog Trent. No. Well, I guess we could have, like, Lloyd's Shipping Registry, but, man, I don't know. Okay. No, sure. Okay. Let's see if Watson can hint. Article. Holmes's files. A scathing letter to the editor in the newspaper from February 6th, 1888 was written by a man with a curious title. Sound familiar? 1888. Yeah, Earl of Downey. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I caught that. Yeah. Ship or captain. It would have a log of passengers. Perhaps send someone there other than detectives to get the information. Okay, what was the captain's name? Ramsey. Have we sent the irregulars to Ramsey? Try. Holmes looks up from his paper and summons one of the last to his side. I need you to visit the captain immediately. He drops a shilling into the boy's hand and shoots him out the door. Put 10... Oh, yeah, that's true, that. Well, maybe we can get it from the shipping register? Watson sees that Lloyd's Shipping is mentioned in the Pall Mall Gazette and says an irregular. Holmes continues to puff on his meerschaum, seemingly oblivious. Find anything except a bunch of hushed conversations coming from the back room. Is that one shipping company like the next? Watson asked Holmes. After a 10-minute explanation, Watson admits he stands corrected and follows the detective out the door.
This seemed to be a dead end. No one had any information that could help us solve this case.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I don't know how to get the log of passengers. Can we like literally find the Empress ship? No. Man, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to pin down the suspects until you have talked with everyone who knew the men. Perhaps a visit to a place where the men worked or taught. Yep. Check the newspaper. Herman Ramsey was listed as the captain of the ship where Weatherby was murdered. Might he know something? Yeah. Medical examiner. Yep. A chemist would know. Yep. If you have read the pertinent articles in the papers, talked with your regulars, visited where the men worked or lectured, gotten the passenger list of the Eastern Empress, and finally visited those people, you should have an idea about who killed these men. How do I get the passenger list? How do I get the passenger list? That's what I want to know. Where do I get the passenger list? How do I get the passenger list? Sending the irregulars to Luther Tenney's home would be wise. The boys are stunned and wonder what the world is coming to. Says he saw some Arabs. Sounds like fun. Yeah, okay, but like how do I get the... Do I have it? I'm not even sure if I have it. Do I have a list of everyone? I don't think I have the passenger list though. Killer of these men was aboard the Eastern Empress, would have written an article in the paper that caused Turnbull, the Earl of Downey, to write a scathing letter. Felt cheated by those excavating the tomb would have ties to the band. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's Travis. I just... Okay. Whew. Okay, let's go.
No, gentlemen. You haven't done a thorough enough job of investigating yet. Do continue your sleuthing.
Okay, so presumably it's because we don't have the passenger list. Next hint will give away the answers for the judge. After that, Holmes can help you piece together the clues. Okay. So what we need is the passenger list. An article in the newspaper from April 12th, 1889 mentions 2 additional murders. One is aboard a ship and the other... No other blah blah blah. Okay, here. The name of the ship and her captain. Surely they would have a log of passengers. Send someone there other than the detectives to get the information. How do we get the log of passengers? What is it I'm missing, though? What is it that I am missing? Something is missing. Something is missing. Oh, have we been to Al Swad? Holmes knows nothing of Al Swad, is eager to accompany Watson to his home. Perhaps a gentleman could be of service to them.
Well, Holmes, I checked in with Mr. Al-Sad's
Oh yeah,
and
true.
And you discovered that Mr. Al-Sad was...
Yep. Sir Charles Baskerville. British Museum. Oh, here's Johnny Bulldog, though. Self-proclaimed nationalist and frequent contributor to the letters to the editor section of the Times, knows to be a bit of his nut. He advocated expelling all foreign ambassadors from England. I don't know if it's important, though. Regulars look at each other nervously when asked to visit Bulldog. Finally, Pepys reluctantly decides to take the assignment for twice the fee. Guy's nuts, Holmes. He ran me off. Yeah. We need that passenger list. So we talked to the Fenwicks. They were there. On the ship. But yeah, I mean, how do I know that they were on the ship, though? Wait, there was another shipping company. This one? Steamship company located in the east section of the city that operates several transoceanic vessels, including the ships Hercules and Eastern Empress. Here we go. Holy crap. Believing the shipping company could provide a valuable clue to their case, Holmes sends 3 regulars to Shawdown, Matheson and Company. Guy wouldn't give us a list of passengers, so we stole it. Mrs. Hudson dropped it in your notebook for us. She did. There we go. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Abdullah Al-Swad, yes. Akram Fahmy, yes. Fenwicks, yes. Travis, yes. Uraburo, yes. Weatherby, Windibank. Okay. Now we have the list of passengers. Can we please go to the judge now?
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yes. There we go.
The Queen's Court now stands in order.
I'm not very good at this.
Mr. Holmes, I understand you've been looking into the mummy murders.
Yes, my lord.
Tell me then, who was Ebenezer Turnbull's murderer? And what makes you so certain? What was Travis' motive for killing Turnbull?
Turnbull refused to honor Travis's press credentials, barring him from the excavation site, thus jeopardizing Travis's job. Travis felt that the tomb of Kadabet should be left undisturbed. Turnbull publicly lambasted Travis for questioning the doctor's credentials because of their mutual interest in Clarissa Weatherby. No, I think this one.
Terribly sorry, gentlemen, that is not at all correct.
What? By order of this court, you are summarily dismissed until such time when you can correctly and without fault present your evidence. Furthermore, for wasting the court's time, you have been docked 50 clue points. Should you decide you are close to a solution, you may certainly exercise your right to approach the bench again. However, it may be wise to start your investigation anew, gather pertinent clues, and present more educated findings to this court. The Honorable Sir Eugene Evans. Actually, it could be right, but that he thinks that we should leave it undisturbed. No, wait. Man, I'm so lost. I really have absolutely no idea what's going on here. I think it's Travis. Like, I don't see how it could be anyone else. Wow, I am really bad at this apparently. How can it be anyone else? I mean, I don't care about the points, we could just go back and do it a billion times, but... Okay, we have all the clue hints, so next hint will give away the answers for the judge. Honestly, yes. Okay. It was Travis. Uh-huh. Turnbull discredited him. Yeah. Yes, I'm telling you, Travis did it. Why are you telling me I'm wrong?
Hear ye!
Okay.
Mr. Holmes, I understand you've been looking into the mummy murders.
Yes, my lord.
Tell me then, who was Ebenezer Turnbull's murderer? And what makes you so certain? What was Travis' motive for killing Turnbull?
Oh, but it's probably not that. It could be this. Turnbull publicly lambasted Travis for questioning the doctor's credentials. Because he wrote that into the Times.
And what of Andrew Weatherby? Who murdered him?
Same guy.
So, you say Travis killed Turnbull and Weatherby?
Yes.
Yes, I believe he did, my lord.
But what was his motive to kill Weatherby, Mr. Holmes?
Weatherby scoffed at Travis's mystical beliefs. The Time was planning to replace Travis with Weatherby as the new Egyptian correspondent. While they were students, Weatherby's Egyptology dissertations was published while Travis's was rejected. Travis was angry that Weatherby was chosen for the expedition instead of himself.
Ah, revenge. The oldest motive in the book. Now, Mr. Holmes, who killed James Windibank?
Okay, so I'm not as confused as I thought I was. It is Travis. I was just confused about the motives.
This Travis seems to be quite a busy fellow. What made him kill James Windibank?
Windibank had failed Travis in one of his classes. Windibank did not choose him for the expedition. Windibank ridiculed Travis's pursuit of ancient mysticism as an experiment in the resurrection of the dead. I think it was because Windibank did not choose him for the expedition.
Well, you've done an admirable job in resolving this mystery. I'd say you're on a par with just about any other armchair detective out there. I would suggest, however, that you rethink this case again, thereby improving your sleuthing skills.
Okay.
My word, dear Holmes. Perhaps we are in the wrong business altogether. I think I will ring up the university immediately and see if we might enroll in a detective course.
Holmes' score 35, your score 490. Meh. Message from an irregular. Well, I talked with Mr. Holmes about this whole mummy business. As far as clue points go, here's how you did. You can listen to how he did it or try again and see if you can do better. Alright, let's listen to Holmes' solution. That could be interesting.
Well, Watson, I believe this case is solved. And for your information, it was not the mummy.
Come, Holmes. I never thought for a moment it was the mummy.
Of course not, Watson. However, the murderer and the mummy did have one thing in common.
What's that?
They both were the only ones present at the time of the murders, except, of course, the victims.
You state the obvious, Holmes.
Ah, but it is seeing the obvious that is important. First, I saw no reason to assume that we were dealing with more than one murderer. Secondly, the locations of the murders limited the number of suspects.
Limited them? The first murder was in Egypt, the second on ship in the middle of the sea, and the third in London.
You call the entire populations of London and Egypt a limited number of suspects?
No, Watson. We had to find someone who was in Egypt for the first murder, on the ship for the second, and in London for the third.
Oh, but of course.
According to the newspapers, the Eastern Empress was in Bombay at the time of Ebenezer Turnbull's murder, so that eliminated the ship's crew as suspects. Thus, I needed the list of passengers who boarded the ship at Cairo. It was our visit to Jardine, Mason and Company that provided our first critical clue. From it, I learned that Philip Travis was a passenger. I then learned that Travis was the chap who reported on the first murder. He became one suspect, but I had no motive. Clarissa Weatherby, who was also at the scene of the murder in Cairo, was another possible suspect, since she appears to have had a bit of a dalliance with Mr. Uruburu there on the high seas. So I had found her motive for the murder of Weatherby, but not a motive for the murder of the others.
Then whom did you eliminate?
Mrs. Weatherby. Her hands were not strong enough even to open a jar of English toffee, let alone strangle a grown man.
And what of Travis's motive?
It seems that Travis was a student in the Egyptology department at London University and had studied under James Windibank. He wanted very badly to be chosen as a member of the expedition, but Windibank turned him down. Instead, Weatherby was chosen and Travis was furious. So there you have the motive for two of the murders.
And what of his motive for the murder of Turnbull?
Evidently, Travis had written a vicious article questioning Dr. Turnbull's credentials to lead the expedition. Turnbull's response was quite harsh. Probably powerful enough to drive an odd duck like Travis to murder.
Very impressive, Holmes.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Alright, there we go. I'm apparently not very good at this, but learning. Okay. But the good thing is that there are 2 more cases in this, like, triple... As I was saying, this is a part of a trilogy or whatever of games in the same spirit. So, learning of the first game, and hopefully I'll do a better job for the second and third mysteries here. Definitely good idea to go through all your or some at least of the regulars and check shipping companies. Yep. Oh well, we'll have fun with the other 2. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this little different type of game, I guess. Sherlock Holmes, the Consulting Detective, Case 1, The Case of the Mummy's Curse. And, you know, we'll be back. We'll play the other 2 as well. So I hope to see you then, too. And, yeah, I'll see ya. Bye!